All right, let's jump right into something that happens to, well, all of us, getting emotionally triggered. You know that feeling, right? That hot, frustrating knot in your stomach? In this explainer, we're going to take that feeling and completely flip it on its head. We're going to turn it into a kind of superpower.
I want you to picture someone. We all have that person. Maybe it's a coworker, maybe a family member, who just says one little thing and boom, the heat rises, the irritation flashes. It's just an awful feeling, isn't it?
So the problem isn't just the feeling itself, it's the story we tell ourselves in that moment, and almost always it's the same old, unhelpful story. This is what I like to call the trigger trap. It's this huge, common misunderstanding about what's really going on inside of us.
I mean, our immediate gut reaction is that this feeling is wrong. We think, ugh, why am I letting this person get to me? I should be stronger than this. We automatically see it as a personal failure, you know? Something to be ashamed of or just push down.
And yup, this is the old story. This is how we usually see it. That trigger is a flaw. It's a weakness. It's just this super annoying thing that we have to suppress. Our only goal is to squash it and pretend it's not even there. But what if that entire story is just wrong?
So, this is where we're going to make a huge pivot. Instead of seeing these triggers as a trap, we're going to reframe them as your secret teacher. And I'm telling you, this one little shift can totally change your relationship with these really difficult emotions. Just let that sink in for a second. Your triggers are teachers in disguise. What if that intense, frustrating feeling isn't an enemy you have to fight? What if it's a teacher trying to get your attention? You know, maybe it's not a bug in your system, but a feature. This one idea, this single shift in perspective, it's the key to the whole thing. So let's redefine this thing. An emotional trigger, it's not a flaw. A better way to think about it is like a flashlight. It's this super powerful beam of light that suddenly switches on and points at something deep inside of you that was sitting in the dark. The person who triggered you, they just flipped the switch.
So what is this flashlight actually pointing at? Well, it's usually one of three things. It could be an unresolved story from your past. It could be some deep unmet need, like a need for respect or security. Or, and this is a big one, it could be showing you that one of your core values is being stepped on.
And when you see it this way, my gosh, everything changes. That person who gets under your skin is no longer just an annoyance. They've accidentally become your own personal emotional intelligence coach. They're handing you this priceless opportunity to learn about yourself. Seriously, the trigger becomes a gift, even if it's wrapped in really, really annoying paper.
Okay, so this all sounds great as an idea, but how do we actually do it? How do we turn this insight into action? Well, it's way simpler than you might think. It really all comes down to a simple process and asking one critical question right in the heat of the moment.
Here it is, your three-step playbook. Let's just call it notice, pause, ask. First, you notice the physical feeling of being triggered. Don't judge it, just acknowledge it. Oh, there's that heat in my chest. Second, and yeah, this is the hardest part, you pause. Just create a tiny bit of space between the feeling and your usual reaction. Don't lash out, don't shut down. Just breathe. And then, in that little gap you just created, you ask the question.
This right here is the question that turns a moment of pure frustration into a moment of growth. What is this moment really trying to teach me about myself? See how it shifts your focus? It moves it away from the other person and puts it right back on you. It turns blame into genuine curiosity.
So what's the big takeaway here? Why even bother doing this work? Let's talk about what you stand to learn when you really start treating your triggers like your teachers.
This is how you take your power back. You stop being a victim, just getting tossed around by your reactions, and instead, you become this curious student of your own inner world. Your emotions, they stop being liabilities, and they become your absolute greatest source of wisdom.
And that brings us full circle, right back to where we started. That person, the one you've been trying to avoid, the one you kind of wish would just disappear, what if they actually hold the key to your next level of growth? What if, instead of avoiding them, you should be thanking them?